and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 150. It is the last day of the week, aka the Vampire Killer workout. I am on my way to the gym right now, and I'm feeling pretty alright. Left shoulder's a little bit bothersome, but a little bit of a warm-up won't solve that. But yeah, I'm on my way to the gym right now, which was something I was completely not expecting at all. I was actually expecting to do something completely different, but then plans changed, so I had to pivot. So the entire point of this video, which I've already said now, is pivoting, basically, just changing completely from what you're doing to one thing to another. Basically, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because this is exactly what happened today. I was not planning on coming to the gym at all. I was going to go out with the guys, but unfortunately they had some issues today, which caused it so they couldn't go out. So I was like, oh, okay, so time to pivot to go to the gym. So here I am, and I'm on my way to the gym right now. I didn't expect to be even doing this, honestly. I was expecting to just go to a barcade and barcade it up. So now I'm kind of like out the gym mode, so I have to kind of roll myself back into it, but it's a little tough. So right now I'm just like, all right, let me get some warm-ups in and then feel good. I don't have much in terms of exercise selection today. I might add a couple of things that I skipped on other days just because I can, but besides that, there are certain things that I'm gonna have to skip today because I technically already did them. So yeah, it is what it is. So this is a very interesting thing, and the topic itself is generally just pivoting, and I guess I just wanted to talk about it because I mean, I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten more wise / more okay with the immediacy of having to change on the fly, you know, like really like pivot or whatever hell I'm doing in order to make it better. Having to let things go and stuff just to make sure something happens. I could have stayed home and edited, honestly. That could have been a nice option, but I knew that if I just, eventually I will end up going with these guys to this damn barcade, and when that does happen, I'm gonna skip the Friday, so I don't want to have 2 Fridays that are out, so I have to pivot into going to the gym. So it is something that is a little weird, but you have to do it, right? And it's not just going to the gym being one of those things, but there are multiple things that we can talk about in this section. But I just wanted to say this because I wasn't expecting to go. So with that being said, we'll get into more detail on the inside.
On this day I started with the dumbbell rows, which were pretty good. As you may or may not be able to hear in my voice, I have contracted a little bit of a sickness, so unfortunately haven't been able to go to the gym in the past 2 days, which has been kind of annoying, and thus a real-life swerve that happened to me since this entire episode has happened. It's been very annoying, but the only blessing in disguise from the not going to the gym has been I've been able to actually edit, so there's that. But still, even then, it's still pretty tough. The sickness isn't too bad. It seems like it's been a 1 to 2 day thing. I still even went to work. It just wasn't that bad until I was actually at work, and then I felt it a little bit at night, but I think I've gotten over the hump now. But it's one of those things where life can throw you these weird ass curveballs out of completely nowhere, and now all of a sudden you have to change everything that you're doing. So it definitely does feel weird being home, forced to be home. I could have forced myself to go to the gym, but one, I don't want to be an asshole already, even more so than I am going to work kind of sickly. Going to the gym kind of sickly is even worse. At least in the office, you know, there's not really like, I don't have to be close to anybody per se. You know, we have our own like areas and stuff, whilst here at the gym we're sharing areas together and equipment and touching things, and sweat and cough and all that other stuff is just so together. So it makes sense that it would not be kosher for me to go. But I think this is just one of those random curveballs that happen that I kind of have to prepare myself for, which is fine. It is what it is. And things like this happen, you know, like this is such a random short-term turn of events that I'm not too worried about missing out or not going. It's funny that in this episode I mentioned about going out with the guys and stuff, that it basically took an entire month afterwards in order for that hangout to happen. And it didn't even happen with the full cast of people that was originally going to happen with. So there was that. And that's just one of those things that it's like, it just moving on and moving over and changing nonstop until finally something happens. And when it happens, it was great. I hung out with Walter finally outside of the gym area, and that was nice. So that was good to see him. These curveballs or swerves, it's interesting. Whenever I think of these things, I think of the old WCW early 90s Vince Russo style swerve where everything has some sort of twist, which is ridiculous, and I always find it so funny when these things happen. But it's also interesting when it happens in the real world, really, because you never really know what the hell's gonna happen to you. Things just kind of sort of pop up out of nowhere, really. And that's the reason why I wanted to make this episode, was just kind of, as I've grown older and I've grown wiser, when things like this come up where like I don't necessarily know what's happening per se, I have like enough defaults to have stuff to do and or things to happen, so I'm not completely lost out of my socks, you know. And it's kind of nice because now I don't have to worry about those types of things, particularly not knowing what to do or being empty-headed to do nothing. It allows me to like make sure that my time isn't completely wasted, because I feel like when I was younger I would have totally just used this time in an inappropriate way or just done absolutely nothing, which I mean is fine every once in a while, but now as an adult like you got to make the most of the time that you have, specifically if you have a job too, because my god, is the time that you get free so precious. So take advantage of it while you can, really.
And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed. Non-exercises skipped. We have, well, two actually. Yes, low rows and the neck curl. Yes, because I did the preacher curl the other day on Wednesday. Now, whilst doing the Jefferson curl, which I didn't do on Wednesday, that's when I realized, oh my god, you're an idiot. Why didn't you pivot your programming to fit the things better? So I am now just going to move my low row into my Wednesday and my Jefferson curl into my Friday, and thus solving an issue that was basically non-existent for the most part. And now I don't have to worry about it and finding another thing to do on this day, because I can just do Jefferson curl and it works out. So yeah, that was just me being like, wow, I really didn't see, I was looking too hard, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're good to go. Just don't be a retard. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But with that being said, back to the main subject matter at hand. It is tough whenever you want to pivot into doing something completely different, you know, something along the lines of like something happens, so you have to kind of change out your entire schedule, your entire area, everything else. It is a bummer to say the least, but sometimes you have to learn how to do it and do it well. As you grow older and a little bit more wiser, you learn to pivot to things that are better for you, and or you pivot towards things that may or may not be more useful for you. For me personally, whenever I would, let's say, plans change, I would pivot towards a more lazier side, a dumbing down. If I wasn't going to do X, I'm going to do Y. If I'm not going to eat healthy, I'm going to eat like shit. If I'm not going to go out to drink, I'm going to go stay home and drink. You know, things like that. Things where I shouldn't pivot towards something one way, and instead I'll pivot towards something that isn't as good as I could have been. But nowadays, because I know that if I have one plan, I pivot towards something that will be more productive. So regardless of whether I went to the gym or not today, I would have done something productive, done editing, or done something else, cleaned, who knows, make room for the home gym, because Project Home Gym is happening and is in full effect. I'll make an episode about that once we get nearer and closer to it. But anyways, that is something that as I grow older, I'm glad that I've chosen to do that every time now, because there are times where I like ask myself, is this the right option? Is this the good option? Is this going to be the option that's going to get you farther in life? And now that I ask myself that, it actually helps out a lot, because now I do pivot towards things that will make my life better. So that is something that I like to do. But with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this. This is kind of a random video out of all of them, 150. It's kind of funny. It's kind of random, but it is what it is. We are halfway to 200. Maybe I'll get to 100 subscribers before 200 hits. Who fucking knows? But here's to hoping, right? We'll find out. That is a future Oscar to be excited about. Actually, not really. I am excited to get to 100 subscribers, but I'll say this. Whenever I get there, that means I have to go to the worst gym in the area, which I am not looking forward to. I hate that place. But that is for a future video. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about really anything. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. Yes, so please, take care, stay safe out there, keep it heavy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.